Welcome. Welcome whether your week has been gentle, demanding, or somewhere in between. Whoever you are, wherever you've been, and whatever you carry, you are welcome here. May these next few minutes be moments of calm, of safety, and of community. Let us begin our time of thought and reflection together. There is a stubborn, rebellious teenager living inside almost all of us. Doesn't matter how old we are, how responsible we have become, how professional we appear on the outside. The moment that someone, even a well-meaning authority figure, tells us we must do something, a wall goes up. We dig our heels in. The very thing we might have enjoyed doing suddenly becomes a chore the moment it is framed as a requirement. Steve Jopik tells a story that captures this. Jopik, a man of intellect and curiosity, decided to sign up for a seminar on existential philosophy. He was genuinely excited. He wanted to wrestle with the great ideas of Sartre and Camus. He wanted to expand his mind. But then the professor's email of introduction arrived. It outlined a syllabus containing 2,000 pages of required reading. In an instant, the balloon of his enthusiasm popped. His genuine curiosity collapsed under the sheer weight of duty. Jopik likened that sinking feeling to a child being dragged away from a playground by a parent. Not because the child hates dinner, but because the child hates the loss of autonomy. The moment the reading becomes compulsory, it stops being an exploration and starts to feel like work. Why does this happen? Why does the label of obligation kill our joy so effectively? To understand this, it's helpful to turn to the work of the British author and journalist Oliver Burkeman. For many years, Burkeman wrote a popular column for The Guardian called "This Column Will Change Your Life," and he is the author of the book of 4,000 Weeks. Burkeman is not your typical self-help guru. He's a realist, often described as writing anti-self-help. He doesn't promise us that we can do it all, or that we can optimize our lives into perfection. Instead, he asks us to look at the reality of our limitations and our choices. Burkeman offers a provocative and liberating truth about the concept of obligation. He reminds us that in the strictest sense, almost nothing in life is truly mandatory. When we say, "I have to go to work," or "I have to pay my taxes," or "I must visit my relatives," we're using a linguistic shortcut. We don't actually have to do any of these things. Physics will not stop us if we refuse. The world will keep turning. The sun will still rise tomorrow. What we really mean, Burkeman suggests, is that we are choosing to do these things because the alternative is a consequence we are not willing to bear. You can choose not to pay your taxes, but the consequence might be prison. You can choose not to go to work, but the consequence might be losing your home. These are steep prices, certainly, but they are still part of a transaction we are agreeing to. This distinction between compulsory and consequential might seem like semantic hair-splitting, but it's actually a radical act of reclaiming our freedom. When we walk around saying "I have to," we are painting ourselves as victims of circumstance. We are telling ourselves that we are powerless passengers in our own lives, dragged from the playground against our will. It breeds resentment. It makes us feel heavy and trapped. However, if we can pause and reframe the thought, "I am choosing to do this difficult thing because I value the stability it brings to my family," or "I am choosing to read these 2,000 pages because I want to understand existentialism," the energy shifts. The burden may still be heavy, but we are no longer being crushed by it. We are carrying it. We move from being a victim of obligation to an agent of choice. Stefan Jopik found that once he stopped forcing himself, once he accepted that he could simply walk away from the seminar if he wished, he often circled back to the task. He picked up the books not because he was told to, but because he remembered he wanted to. And this leaves us with a challenging question, one that is both terrifying and exhilarating. In this coming minute, I want you to accept that nothing is actually compulsory, and that you are the architect of your own participation in this life. What will you do with all that freedom? we end by saying thank you. Thank you for listening. And in this coming week, please remember to be kind to yourself. Be careful not to say, I have to. Let us dare to replace it with, I choose to. Go well.